like a dolphin's hands. I do not give a shit, fuck, or anything that reminds of damn. This is light form from the ultimate life form. Something light like work, but I black out like fuck I need lights for. Came in the game to play for a second with only a quarter, but got the high score. I'm one of you niggas, I'm far from the average. Battling me, you won't leave it like swords. A literal monster born for.
I was going to talk about the most powerful character in Dragon Ball GT. Seeing how Akira Toriyama had Broly and Gogeta become canon, I was going to talk about Omega Shenron, but I'm going to postpone that probably until next year, starting around January 1st or 2nd. But what I want to do is talk about Dragon Ball games once again. I feel that it's one that I need to cover, and it's one that most of us are familiar with, and it's our childhood. Lots of us in the community and stuff. So if you haven't noticed, I talked about the past games and why I love this series so much, and we're going to be talking about the memorable moments of Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3 and why that game is loved so much. So I'm going to go into that right now.
Gogeta here. Subscribe to Epic Style, or else you'll get your soul punished.
What is going on, everybody? It's Epic Style Gamer, and today I'm going to be talking about yet again another Dragon Ball game that is very popular, I guess still to this day in my opinion, and talked about amongst the Dragon Ball fandom still to this day. And that's really legendary to me when it can still be talked about for even 11 years, you know, being old and, you know, still being wanted to be on different consoles and everything. And that game is called Dragon Ball Z BT3. And the thing about this game is what made it special and what made it so different from the other games is, of course, the famous roster. BT3 has been the most biggest, well, still to this day, the most biggest character roster we've ever had in any Dragon Ball game. And the thing about it is you had so much characters such as, you know, General Blue, General Tao. You also had Dr. Wheelo, Lord Slug. Of course, he's in Xenoverse 2 and stuff, but it's like they also put in characters that didn't matter or that you didn't even care about that much. But it still felt like a really big Dragon Ball game, and even though people don't use them, they still really enjoy the game for what it is, like very, very much. Now, a few days ago, I did a versus poll. And of course, you know, people's opinions on, you know, different websites does not mean it's the whole merit or, you know, an exact fact of which game is better. But I did BT3 versus Xenoverse 2 because, you know, they're kind of like rivals when it comes to character roster, you know, to gameplays and everything like that, kinda. But people still voted BT3 still being one of the best games. I think BT3 actually did win by a hair. Xenoverse 2 was up there, but BT3 still took it. And I also put up against other games such as Fighter Z and Raging Blast 2. And BT3 has been winning so far, and it's just been legendary to the fandom. Not just the character roster, but the story. Granted, BT3 did skip a lot of stuff in story. If you want to go back like to BT2 had like lots of stuff in story. You had to actually like get into it, like deep into it, if you want to like actually unlock some stuff. But with BT3, they skipped some stuff, and you know, some people was a bit off about that, saying BT2 was better in terms of story, of course. But nonetheless, when it came to BT3, the way it went, the way the story like just functioned through, it still functioned through like a regular Dragon Ball Z story. And that's what was likable about that. It had everything from Dragon Ball all the way up to Dragon Ball GT. And of course, when you compare it to Xenoverse is still up there in a way, but it's like, it's still some stuff like with Xenoverse, they still trying, they still adding more stuff. And you know, I'm not trying to, you know, bash on Xenoverse and stuff like that, but it's still stuff they missing. Like an example, a good example would be Android 13. I'm happy we got him, but we're also missing Super 13. We also missing Full Power Bojack. It's kind of like when you go back to BT3, they had that stuff already in there. They also had them as transformations and stuff like that. So it's still some elements from BT3 that you know, Xenoverse is still missing in the franchise. But Xenoverse is still one of the greatest games out there. And if you want to get close to like BT3 like in rosters, because I know that's what a lot of people like, Xenoverse 2 was like your best bet at this point, and I think that's over Raging Blast 2, considering the fact that Xenoverse 2 also has Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, Nova Shenron, Ice Shenron, all of them. And you know, Raging Blast 2, it was up there back in the days. If you wanted to say like way before Xenoverse was a thing, it would be up there with BT3 being the closest, but it lacked Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball GT characters. And aside from characters, like I said, you know, such as story-wise and you know other stuff like that, nothing that was really great about BT3 was the transformations. The transformations, you know, was very, once again, you know, stuck with the fans, and that was because they had cutscenes and stuff like that. I think people from the classic days really like the cutscenes that Xenoverse 2 actually lacks, because Xenoverse 2 is trying to actually make it fair comparison in a way. When you compare it to each other, Xenoverse 2 is trying to make it fair. Some people see BT3 as copy and paste, as like just, well, you're not too wrong on that, because when you think about it, it is, every character is just hit, kick them up into the air, vanish, and you know, send them flying. And that was basically every character's move set. Well, I won't say move set, but you know, every character's basic square combo. But you also have a cutscene like where if you used to play like Raging Blast 2 online, you wouldn't be able to get out of that. And Xenoverse 2 is just trying to make it fair, and you know, give people more of an opportunity and stuff like that, and you know, make it more challenging and everything. So that's the thing with Xenoverse 2. Another thing with BT3 is with the transformations, it's like they put some care into it. It's like they didn't really separate too many characters, but most of the characters you have, they had transformation, you can just transform into them. But when you go into like detail wise, it was just more like them powering up and then pop. And if you want to compare this to Raging Blast days, you kind of like see them going into the form like how it is in actual anime. So props to Raging Blast about that. But still, people still admire BT3 to this day, and based on that, once again, story, character roster, and transformations and stuff, in-game transformations, because people feel that after BT3 it wasn't really like too many good Dragon Ball games like that. And there's reasons to this. Now here's what I'm about to actually go into it. Reason why we don't really have you know, BT3 like games like that is because, first of all, it was part of Spike. Spike was known to leave, you know, the Dragon Ball gaming company and doing their own thing. Another thing is they don't add many characters as much as because we don't use them. Like how they added so many characters in Xenoverse. Let's say for Videl, who is really using Videl? Don't people mainly use the main characters, Goku's, the Vegetas, Gohan's, Goten's, Frieza's, Goku Black, Gogeta, and of course new Broly and stuff like that. That's mainly what everybody is using. Hardly, you know, every once in a while you'll see people use characters like that, and that's why they remove so many characters and they limit it down. And I can understand, you know, the gaming company's point on that, because it's a waste. If people are not actually playing as these characters, then why are they still there, you know? So for BT3, that wasn't just it. It was some other stuff you can do. Unlock things, create your own custom characters, team battles, which was pretty cool. Once you knock the character out, you know, you get to fight 5 versus 5, which Xenoverse 2, they have 3 on 3, but not a 5 on 5 yet. And like it was kind of like switch out things you could do, which was also cool and stuff like that. So with that being said, BT3 is still a great game to this day, and the reason why I find that really impressive is because it was like, it came out in 2007, and still to this day, as of 11 years later, being in 2018, people are still talking about, people still want it on PS3, PS4 as a remake, and it was classic to us. It was part of our childhoods and stuff like that. And so that's why the BT3 series is so lovable, and it's mainly because of the character roster and epic cutscenes that it had, like kind of like how they animate the stages, everything like that. We also had the baby stage, we also had Hell, we also had you know, the Namek area. We also had the Grand Canyon place at night where you could turn to the great apes and everything like that, and you know, the stuff like that was memorable, especially from Dragon Ball. So let me know what you guys think, comment section below about BT3. Do you like it? Do you hate it? I know there's some people out there who hate it, so make sure you guys tell me why. Stay tuned for probably next year around January 2nd or 3rd. I will be talking about Omega Shenron, which is one of the most powerful characters in GT, and could he be making it into Dragon Ball's canon if Akira Toriyama wanted to choose another villain? Make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Subscribe to this channel, follow me on the social media platforms, and I'll see you guys